We only have 2 days left to finish off the bedrooms and the snug in our house before our kids come back from Spain. Now they've been living in less than ideal situations for the last year and a half as we completely renovated this house, myself and Claire, ourselves. It's been a long time coming, but we want to have a surprise for them when they get home. Hopefully we'll get the rooms done, but there's a lot of work to do first. First job, we got to finish off this room. It needs a bathroom door, it needs a bedroom door, it needs skirting, it needs bedroom furniture. We got to finish this. The sewer pipe needs a cover, needs a housing. We got to tidy up this. It all needs skirting and it needs furniture. Finally, we need to finish this room. Claire has already painted in between the beams. Paint today?
We'll see.
Paint tonight, furniture tomorrow. How are we going to do this in 2 days? I really don't know.
There was a little mouse used to pop out of here.
Come over here and let me explain the madness. Situation averted. And that's the door. Oh,
Never a dull moment.
how the did that happen? Can't compute.
This is way before I knew how to do plastering.
I'm into the whole recycling thing.
Oh no, round 3.
It looks pretty good.
I'm not hiding it.
Done-ish. And he could be right.
Time to move the couch in. Back to the plastering. We're done this side now. We moved on to the front. I need to sort out this mess. This is way before I knew how to do plastering. There's a few holes here and there. There's one hole here which is funny because this was where the pipe came in to go to the solid fuel stove, which was a back boiler. So I think the rad, there used to be a rad that would go, there was a rad in the old kitchen and these went through to the old rad. And last winter when we were in here, or I suppose even before that, when we first moved in, when we lit the fire, there was a little mouse used to pop out of here and he used to sit down in front of the fire with us. Anyway, that mouse is no more.
Now, I've made a few of these sliding doors before. They're pretty straightforward. I like the OSB, it's nice and light, and these rails are perfect. I've already put the headers in the plasterboard wall, so I know exactly where to put the rails to take the weight of the door. No way! We're missing a slider, Claire. Did a metal bar come out of these? Do you remember? I think you said something to me, did you? I need 2 to make the rail, we only have 1. So the first problem, we're meant to have 2 of these for the rail, but we only have 1 of these, so the rail's not going to work. Gotta go to the barn and see if I can find it. Situation averted. After 40 minutes, Claire managed to find the second one, so I guess I can't get out of it now. Now I know exactly where to put the bolts, straight into wood up here, and she's hung.
Now, even a bit of wall building. Never a dull moment. I'm not sure why this hole was here. I'm going to mortar up the rest as best we can.
Now originally this snug would have been the kitchen in the old cottage. In the 1950s in Ireland there was a grant to put kitchens in the back and they were called the back kitchen. More recently the kitchen came from the back and a kitchenette was put in here and this was the hole for the pipes. Hey folks, we're delighted to let you know that our limited edition Rooney Red Setter postcards are now available. If you would like your Rooney approved postcards, head below to our Ko-fi store where you can pick up one and get a secret message from us. If you would also like our original West Cork Wander Farmhouse postcards, get them at the same store, but hurry, prints are limited. I'm back down in the barn making the sliding door for Ashton's bathroom. I'm ripping down some piece of wood here to use the skirting, and I'm also going to use the same wood as trim for the door. The hardware kit for the sliding door we got from Amazon, thoroughly recommend, and we're done. And that's the door. Let's go and hang it. Hopefully this all works. Oi, oi, oi. Oh shit. One door. Oh shit. How the f did that happen? What? It's too big. Sugar. 4.5. I can't compute. I'm just gonna cut something off and come back up and check. I was off by 4 centimeters, so this kit may be good, but the instructions, let's say, they're lacking. Anyway, down the shop, got it sorted, back to business. It's a ½ centimeter spare in the base. Looks good. Very nice. Now most of the bolts go into the header here, but this bolt, it just went a little bit past the header, so it was awkward to fit. I'm measuring up here for the trim for the inside of the door. Again, we're using the OSB. The trim is about 12 centimeters. The skirting is about 6 centimeters. Once it's cut, we just hammer it in. Now it's time to get out the speed square to give us that perfect 45-degree angle for the architraves. It's really straightforward to cut these fellas out, although if you're using a handsaw, it is a pain in the ass. All of my saws are broke. If anyone wants to donate me some sort of a power saw, I would be delighted. I managed to get 2 or 3 of these cut with the saw, and then I gave up and I got my corded circular saw. But yeah, really straightforward to do these. I think it looks really well. These nail guns from DeWalt, hands down the best thing you can have if you're going to renovate a property. This is a finishing nail gun. It's actually got a much skinnier nail and you can't even see it once you nail it in. Brilliant bit of kit. Right, that's not fitting perfectly because the bolt is scraping off that, so I think I'm going to have to recess the bolt. And then it should be perfect. This was really easy and really fulfilling because I knew in my head putting down these skirting boards was the final thing to do in the room. Almost. They look really good, they fit really easy, and then I'm onto the front door, and yeah. There's a bit of a story with this door. It's bloody heavy, as you'll hear about in a minute. Oh my god! Come over here and let me explain the madness. So this house came with doors like this. They're very bog standard doors. They have been painted lots of times. They're very light. They're very simple. What we're gonna do with this is bring it back and paint it white. The effect we're gonna have is OSB wall, a white door. Here, surround is actually plaster. So the effect I wanted here was a white wall with an OSB door. Just the opposite of the other side. I think it's all going to work together. I think it's gonna look fab. However, as a designer, I get caught up in the aesthetic. My dad will tell you I don't think at all about the practicalities, and he could be right. Adding OSB on both sides of this made the door so much heavier, but also it made the door so much wider. That becomes a problem when you try to fit your Suffolk lock and it doesn't actually come through far enough, so it's actually too wide. I'm going to have to get a bigger lock, or I'm thinking maybe it's actually too heavy for the hinges. So we have at least 2 problems here with the door. I am going to try to square it up and hang it and see how we get on, and I'm going to leave the latch as it is. At least you can open and close it, and you can't actually lock it at the minute, but it actually came with one of these sort of friction mounts. I don't have a receiver for it, but I think that might keep it closed. I think this is going to do for a few weeks. Changing the latch is low priority with regards to the rest of the things I have to do to this house. So I'm just going to drive on and see what we can do, and you're more than welcome to watch. Enjoy. Putting the trim up on these doors was the same as every other door. The only difference here is it's heavy and I needed long screws to mount it. Excellent news, guys! I actually managed, I don't know how I managed it, but I managed to get this latch to work. This tiny little bit showing is just enough to open up the whole door. So the hinges, you can kind of see it. The door wants to stay here. The hinges are so old. Well, I am recycling as much as I can, but the hinges are so old. They're like pure brass, but it's not perfect. It does work. And my son now has a door that locks. Next thing I gotta do is a bit of trim. Would you believe that I'm actually running out of the OSB? I have one sheet of OSB left that I was going to rip down these for the skirting and for the architrave on the door. It would look nice to have a whole piece, but I also want to use up my scrap. I'm into the whole recycling thing. So I got every piece of scrap wood I could find, the OSB and anything usable. I trimmed it down, so I am going to try to finish off this. It may not look as nice as having a full piece, but I'll be happy knowing that I have very little scrap going anywhere. And again, the trim, super straightforward, but the most awkward thing was this bloody window seat. Let me sharpen my pencil. Or Pian Louis in Irish. Running out of time, gotta get this done, but everything is at a different angle. This reveal is actually going back that way. It's skinny, this is fat. Oh Jesus, it's all over the place. So a bit of a stretch goal for myself, we decided to throw together a wardrobe. Now this ain't gonna be the prettiest, it ain't gonna be the fanciest, but it does match the rest of the OSB in the room, and it's pretty functional, and it's gonna be fine for what he needs for the time being. Now the design for this is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. 2 pieces of wood with some shelves and a rail in the middle. How bad? The bottom shelves will be fine, the rail will be fine. The top shelf, because of the height and the depth at 60 centimeters, it's maybe a little bit too deep, so we need to figure out how he's going to use it. Do you want to come up a sec, Claire?
Fantastic.
Some space in it, isn't there?
It's fantastic space. Yeah.
I think I'm going to call it done now. And now we have a sneak peek at Clare's project, and let me tell you, the paint gun is back out. Okay folks, up against it time-wise. Oh my gosh, I had to do a job this morning and it took me ages. Last night we left off with half a wardrobe attached to a wall and another half a wardrobe yet to be done. Today I'm in my editing day, so I'm not sure I'm going to get this out in time, but I've decided not to edit and possibly push this video out to try and get this bedroom done. I need to get this wardrobe up and then I need to edit, and then Claire needs me to help her with the bed. So all systems go, get the wardrobe done, happy days. I'm gonna quit talking, I'm gonna put this on time lapse, and I might give a little bit of a voiceover. See you in a minute. So having rounded up all the scraps of wood from the barn, I started to make the shelves and the roof. It's really straightforward, this design, but I love the way the rail mounts. It's just easy to pop in and pop out. Shelves going in nice. Okay folks, so we got something that resembles the wardrobe here. Happy enough with it. Everything's plumb and true, except as you would expect, the walls in this cottage are very much not aligned, so I'll have to cover that up. Other than that though, it looks pretty good. Gotta try and put on the door. I think the final part of this rail might prevent the door from opening fully, so I might just trim that off. I don't use any of this. That's just there to stop the door, keep it supported, so I can easily trim that off. So yeah, get a door, find some hinges. Let's go. Ta-da! The wardrobe is, as we like to say down here, done-ish. It's not bad actually. I managed to put 2 of these soft close hinges from, they were from a stockpile for the kitchen. And it's not bad. It actually could do with 4, because the soft close, the door is too heavy for the soft close. But it's pretty good. There's a section for shoes on the bottom, 2 big shelves, a little bit of a rack, and not a huge shelf, and you can put stuff on top as well. I'll see what Ash wants. He may want another shelf kind of in the middle, and this seems pretty big. He probably wants a second shelf on top there, but I'll wait for him to come back. I'll see what he wants and I shall set it up. Other than that, I reckon we are pretty good to go. Happy enough with that. Maybe it's a bit woody, so he may want to do some of his own designer art or something on it. But yeah, that's the end of the third day. So tomorrow, I think Claire's going to want to move up some furniture. She's plastering. I am going to have a look at the skirting outside. I didn't get that done at all. And I am going to start editing the next video. Then the day after, we're going up to the airport to collect them. So really, we're down to the last 48 hours, I'd say.
The head was down and we were just getting all of this done. I think where I left off as I was tonguing the beams, they are looking super. I really never anticipated that they'd be this red in colour, in a deep colour. So they do look great. We've got one really dark one here, really black one. I don't know why why it's like that. I'd say they were used for something else previously. We've left obviously all the old holes are in them from when they ran the wires through. So it just looks super with the white between the middle on the ceiling. So we're super happy with that. This wall is done. This wall is not complete, but it's nearly there. We have a little bit of staining coming through here. And I found that when I plastered over, or I'm hoping anyway it'll happen again, that I can hide it. Now I may have to just touch those little pieces there, but this one was quite bad, and this one, and they are gone. So that's a massive relief. Also, there was just a little hole up there which had to be touched up. There's also a little hole up there that we must find a piece of wood for. That must be done. Well, and then this wall, with the sun coming in, with the window, is whitewash. I have gone over it with a wire wheel. I can't remember if I did show a little bit of time lapse of that. This is the wire wheel. I gave it one hell of a scrubbing, and I just removed whatever I could. There was plaster, there was paint, there was the remains of this, that and the other all over it. Because it's the only exterior wall in here, I'm whitewashing it. I want it to have that sort of it's always going to be a rougher finish. I could have plastered the whole thing smooth, like this one, but we want to keep that like the way it is, you know. And also what we did here then was I've just kept these the same with the sort of indentations that were there from when the windows were taken out. So I'm not plastering it up, I'm not hiding it. That's just how the window is going to be. Just like an uneven surface going down through, which I think looks lovely. It's just where the stones stick out. In time, I would like to actually point these because I think the stones are lovely underneath, but that's not going to happen right now. So I'm going to keep going. My biggest thing right now, because we're running out of time today and light, and we will want to light this fire tonight. So I want to plaster around the fireplace.
It was actually this time last year we were getting cold in the caravan. We thought, let's dig out this fireplace and see if we can find anything. And yeah, a year later we're getting around to finishing it off. Slowly but surely. But it does look really good with the white wall. The black fireplace really pops. And this nice little feature of stone sticking out I think is going to look amazing.
Bed assembly, round 2. Oh no, round 3. This is Ashton's bed. It's a small double.
It's a large single.
It's quite nice because it has lots of detail on the top and on the bottom. I don't know where it came from, Rob. Where'd it come from? Oh, it came from Rob's cottage in Mananbridge.
Yeah, I think it came from an antique place in Cork, or possibly in the Shannon. Oh. It's an old Victorian farm bed.
It's an old Victorian farm bed.
And it's the only bed in this house that we have the hardware for. and it's like
Yeah, the bag was connected to the legs with the screws inside. Now, there was a hole in the bag, so I had to pick the screws up off the floor, but however...
They're the original 130-year-old screws. I'd say this is from the 1900s.
They're funny shaped screws. Really wide, really, if anything.
To be welded, or was that my dad?
No, I took it into work and I asked a lovely chap at work to weld it.
So this is the part of the evening, folks, where I leave my other projects. I'm editing a video to come up and help Claire, but it ends up with me doing all the work and Claire posing and looking out the window wistfully. If you like to see ancient antique beds be used, smash a like, and if we have another one, so if you want to see us use another ancient bed in a different room, hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll be notified when we're doing it. Smooth, huh?
Very smooth.
Okie dokie. Whoa! Like a ninja, I know what you're thinking. It's like a mountain goat. I'm just that nimble. Show me. That looks good, doesn't it? Check out this really cool detail. See that? All these kind of Gothic arches. Then down here, they have tiny little architraves.
Yeah.
Very cool. And more of those arches. More of the arches right there. It's an old, it's well used bed. It's been in about 5 houses that my family have owned. It started with my parents. But it looks good. What do you think, Claire?
Yeah, don't like this though.
Let's get this bed put together and we'll ask YouTube what they think.
Time to move the couch in. At 7:30 at night.
It's been
In
2
the dark.
years. 2 years waiting for this couch. As I was saying, it's been 2 years since we've had our couch in storage, just about. We put that couch into storage. That was the very last thing actually to go into storage. We had it with us the night before we left the house, and we put it in the horse box and took it to storage. But quite a lot of our other stuff has been in storage for 3 years, so we're very ready to have a comfortable home. Right, let's go down and see how these things look. Really excited. They've been in the barn for 2 years.
No! You can't show them. We have to show you next week. So stay tuned.
You know what? Maybe you're better off subscribing. That way you'll be notified when they see the inside of the house, yeah?
That's it. Slán go full.
You're me, Mahagad.